Hi, this is Zach Brown with GoEngineer. A customer called in one day who was trying to figure out how to create a honeycomb pattern on a 24 by 24 sheet, like you see here. And he was trying to do this using sketches, cut extrudes, and a linear pattern, but was having a bit of trouble getting the sketch right so everything would line up perfectly. But to his surprise, I was able to show him how to create this pattern without the need to create any sketches or features beforehand. And in this video, I'd like to demonstrate how we were able to do this using a single feature called the fill pattern. So to start, I'm going to switch over to a new part window where I already have the 24 by 24 sheet made, and I used a center rectangle on the front plane starting at the origin and gave it the 24-inch dimension, also making two sides of this square equal to each other. Now to find the fill pattern, you can go to your command manager and click on the linear pattern flyout. You'll see fill pattern there, or you can also go to the insert menu, pattern mirror, and choose fill pattern there. Now once we have the fill pattern property manager displayed, we'll choose the face, which we will use as the pattern boundary. So I'm just going to select the face of the rectangle. And if we look under features and faces, you'll see we have a couple of options. One is to create the pattern using selected features, which would be a cut feature or an extrude that we have made beforehand. But we also have the option to create a seed cut. If we choose this option, you'll notice that we have a set of parameters that we can use to have the software automatically create this seed cut. And the first option is to select the hole type. And as we click through each option, you'll see that we have some different parameters that show up below that. The option that we're going to choose for this example is the polygon. Now for the polygon, we're going to create 6 sides, because the honeycomb pattern would be a hexagon. And we have some values here. The customer's example, it was to be 1/2 inch overall, or the outer diameter. And you'll notice as we update the outer diameter, the inner diameter also updates as well. Now this other option here is to select a sketch point or vertex where the pattern would start. But we're not going to do that for this option. And the other option here is for the rotation. For this example, we're going to enter 90 degrees and hit enter. And then we'll go back up to pattern layout. Now, the reason why I like to go to the features and faces first and fill this out is because it gives us a preview so that when we're filling out the rest of this, we can see how it updates. Now, the options under pattern layout would be the perforation, and I'm just going to click through these so you can see how it updates the preview. Circular, square, and polygon. For this example, we're going to use perforation. And the customer said that he wanted a spacing 0.9375 and the stagger angle to be 60 degrees. And for the margins, what we did was typed in -1 so that the pattern actually goes outside of the perimeter of the square. Now if we reverse that and typed in a 1, you could see that it actually stops the pattern 1 inch from the edge. The next option is the pattern direction. This is pre-selected based on the face that we selected for the fill pattern boundary. I'm going to select a different edge just so you can see how the pattern updates. But we're going to keep it the way it was when we selected the face. And that's pretty much it for the fill pattern property manager. So we're going to select OK. And this is a lot for SOLIDWORKS to figure out, so it may take a few seconds for this to fully rebuild. And we're done. So that's pretty much how we did this. You could see how much time was saved by using a fill pattern as opposed to creating a sketch of a polygon or 2 or 3 polygons and then having a linear pattern array them in 2 different directions, trying to get everything to match up perfectly. The cool thing about this is that we can come back to the boss extrude, change the dimension. Let's say we want to make this half the size, so 12 inches, enter, rebuild, and the cool thing is that it rebuilds the pattern. No matter what size we make this, we can go up to 36 inches. Now I did have to pause the video for that to rebuild because it did take about 30 seconds to rebuild. But as you can see, with a linear pattern and sketches, we would have to consistently go back into the linear pattern and update. I'm going to change this back to 24 inches. And one last thing I want to show you is the customer also needed to wrap this into a cylinder. So what I advise is to use the flex tool. To do that, we'll go to Insert, Features, and choose Flex. For the flex tool, we're going to just choose the body here for flex input. And this is pretty simple process here. We're just going to change the angle here to 360 and click OK. Now I did have to pause this video again because it took about 5 minutes for SOLIDWORKS to rebuild the flex feature. And this brings me to my final point. If you have complex geometry like this and you would like to keep the features from being rebuilt for performance reasons, SOLIDWORKS has given us a tool called the Feature Freeze Bar that we can utilize to lock the features and prevent them from being rebuilt. To access this option, we'll go to Tools, Options. Under Systems Options, we'll choose General and click the box next to Enable Feature Freeze Bar. Then click OK. And this will place an orange bar in your feature tree below the top level model name. To freeze or lock the features, simply drag the orange bar below the features you wish to lock. This will keep the features from being rebuilt in the future. If you do need to rebuild the feature again, simply drag the bar back above the feature or go back to Options and turn off Enable Feature Freeze Bar. That concludes this video. I hope this has been informative to you, and thank you for watching.